Hi, this is Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, right back here on WagerTalk TV with your Fade the Public NFL video for Week 6 of the regular season this Sunday, October the 17th. I'm going to give you the three most public sides in the NFL and also the most public underdog. Ding, 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 underdog alert. It's the third time this season we've had a very public dog, so the three most public favorites and a public dog as well. Four big public sides for Sunday, October the 17th, coming up on this video with detailed analysis in just a moment. Hey, a quick reminder, the public's not always wrong. We don't always agree with them, but we sometimes do. But if you want my official best bets for this Sunday NFL, don't forget about Saturday college football as well. Now's the time to go to stevemerrillwagertalk.com. And while you're there, consider this promo, Combo 30, a 2-for-1 special. You get both college and pro football for a full 30 days for the price of one. Normally it's $149 for college, $149 for the NFL. You're getting a 2-for-1 combo. You're getting both college and pro for a full month, 30 days for just $149. That's a $100 savings when you use Combo 30 as your promo code, COMBO30. Combo 30, Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. Let's get to the most public side this week in the NFL. And hey, look, it's a team that's made the list almost every week going back to when I started this video late November last year. And if you recall, when I started in late November, we went 31-7, faded the most public sides and totals all the way through the Super Bowl. One team that we won quite often fading was the Kansas City Chiefs. Not a surprise. They finished the regular season and all the way through the Super Bowl on a 1-9-1 ATS slide last year. And now they've picked right up where they left off, going 1-4 against the spread this season. Of course, the difference is they've only won 2 of those 5 games straight up. They were still winning straight up last year. You were just paying a premium every week for them. You know, 2 weeks ago, the most public side was Kansas City against Philly, and they covered that game. I actually agreed with it. I use Kansas City as a teaser play for my clients at WagerTalk.com. Once again, don't always disagree with the public. We pick our spots. Surprisingly, though, the public went against Kansas City last week, and one of the most public underdogs we've seen all season was the Buffalo Bills on that Sunday night game. And, of course, the public cashed with the Bills on Sunday night with the straight-up dog win. So a little surprising that they're so heavy on the Chiefs this week, but that's the case. This line is 6.5 in some spots, but as we head into the weekend, we're seeing a lot of -7s out there. Obviously, 7 is a very key number. About 5% of the time, NFL favorites in this price range are going to win by exactly 7 points. So if you like the Chiefs, you probably want to play the 6.5 now. If you like the Washington football team, you probably want to wait and get +7 or more. I don't thoroughly disagree with Kansas City this week. You know, I think once again, you could use them as a teaser from -7 down to -1. It does make some sense as they have been winning a lot of these games since last year. But once again, they've been a point spread disaster on a 1-13-1 ATS slide over the last year. And now they're still a very public play. Kansas City Chiefs -7, probably the most public side this week, goes at 1 o'clock Eastern. Another very public side also at 1 o'clock Eastern is the Los Angeles Rams -9.5. Now, the advanced look-ahead line a week ago was going to be 6.5 on this game. Now it's 9.5, and that's a textbook example of what happens with these public plays, that you lose line value. I talk about it every week, and that is the case here. I doubt this line drops below 9 because obviously there'll be huge teaser liability at that point at 8.5 or less for the sports books. They do not want that. So I think if you like the Giants, once again, you wait until Sunday and you probably could get some +10s. I'm starting to see them pop as we head into the weekend. If you like the Rams, you probably want to play the 9.5, -9.5 now because 9's a dead number and it's not going to probably go much slower. So once again, another game that's hovering around that key number, Rams -9.5, a very public side. Not surprising. I mean, they're 4-1 straight up. Giants are 1-4. Daniel Jones left with a concussion last week. He is expected to play as we head into the weekend. He is listed as probable. Keep an eye on that, though. Of course, it could change. I do think that's one of the reasons this line went from 6.5 to 9.5. But it's a tough scheduling spot for the Rams. Definitely a sandwich game. They not only had that Thursday night win against Seattle a week ago, big divisional road game. And yes, they only have the Lions on deck, but keep in mind that's Matthew Stafford's former team coming up next Sunday at home. So maybe not for the Rams themselves, but for Matthew Stafford, it's obviously a sandwich game. Nonetheless, the public is heavy on the Rams this week at -9.5. Goes early at 1 o'clock Eastern. That's also that early West Coast to East Coast kickoff, 10 a.m. Eastern start, 10 a.m. Pacific rather, for the LA Rams. Something else to keep an eye on. Let's look at the third most public side this week in the NFL, and it's a late game at 4:25 Eastern. It's the Dallas Cowboys -3.5. Once again, the advanced look-ahead line a week ago before the games were played was going to be about 1.5. Now it's 3.5. That's a big 2-point move. 2% chance the game lands on 2, but there's about a 10% chance the Cowboys win by exactly 3 this week. So going from the look-ahead line of 1.5 to the current line of 3.5, you've lost about 12% long-term return on investment, long-term winning percentage with that move. Yet I don't disagree with the move. I think the 1.5 was a cheap price. I think Dallas deserves to be favored by more than a field goal. Like I said, I don't always disagree with the public, and this is a spot where it's hard to disagree. Cowboys have been a money machine, 4-1 straight up, but more importantly, 5-0 against the spread this year. They've covered every single game. Only game they lost straight up was with 7 seconds to go against the defending Super Bowl champs, Tampa Bay, on the road in that Thursday night opener. So Dallas has been really good this year, an explosive offensive team, 34 points a game, 6.7 yards per play. And if it wasn't the fact it was the New England Patriots and Bill Belichick as a home dog, this line would be even higher. Even if you take away the name and you just look at the numbers, New England's averaging 19 points a game, true rookie quarterback, 5.3 yards per play. Tremendous difference offensively. They are a little bit better defensively than Dallas, but once again, this is a huge step up in class for that Patriot defense. And keep in mind, the Patriots have played a pretty weak schedule this season. You look at their 2 wins, they came against the Jets and the Texans, 2 of the worst teams in the NFL. They did hold tight with Tampa in that high-profile Sunday night game. Of course, weather as well is an issue. But the other home game the week before that, they were 3-point favorites in New Orleans, and they lose by 15 outright. So once again, I think if you were to take the New England Patriot name off this game, the line would be even higher. So even though it's gone from 1.5 to 3.5, and Dallas is very public, hard to disagree. Cowboys minus 3.5, the third most public play this week in the NFL. Hey, I'm going to get to a rare public underdog here for you, the most public dog this week in just a second in the NFL for week 6. Don't forget, if you want my official best bets for this Sunday, if you want my college football best bets as well on Saturday, don't forget to check out my page, Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. And while you're there, consider taking a long-term serious investment approach. And what a better way to start off than with a 30-day football all-inclusive package. Normally, it's $149 for either college or pro. I'm giving you both for the price of one with Combo 30. Must have that promo code to get the special discounted price, COMBO30. Combo 30 gets you both college and pro football for a full 30 days and nights for just $149. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. Hey, get there quicker with shortcut code WT.buzz/SM. Let's look at the most public underdog this week in the NFL. It's the third time in 6 weeks we've had a really public dog. They've gone 1-1 so far. You'll recall a couple of weeks ago, the Lions were very public against the Bears. The Bears got it done 1-10. This past Sunday night, as I mentioned earlier, the Bills fading the Chiefs. The Bills were a very public dog. They won outright. So it's 1-1 so far this year. We'll keep track of these public dogs because, as you all know, the public normally plays favorites and they play overs. So when a high percentage is on an underdog, it's a real red flag and something that catches my attention. And even more so this week because they are fading what's considered a pretty good team. The most public dog this week is the Los Angeles Chargers plus 2.5. Once again, this line opened 3. It's now 2.5. That only might be a half-point move, but as we discussed earlier, about a 10% chance that teams win by exactly a field goal in the NFL, especially in this price range. So that move from 3 down to 2.5 takes away about 10% off a push, now becomes a loss with the Chargers, and that's exactly what happens with these very public plays. So understandable why that the public likes the LA Chargers. 4-1 start straight up, 4-1 against the spread. But it's a little surprising that they'd be fading a high-profile team like Baltimore that is also 4-1 straight up. But the Ravens are just 2-3 against the spread. And I think the bigger issue here is Lamar Jackson has really had trouble in high-profile spotlight games. He had those 3 fumbles against the Raiders in Week 1 on the Monday Nighter. He's had some other bad games the last couple of years. Think of that playoff game a few years ago when they lost to Tennessee. Turnovers have been an issue for Jackson. And, once again, the Ravens are on a short week after the overtime win against the Colts on Monday night, but they do stay home. Meanwhile, the Chargers actually have the extra day, but they have to travel cross country. And just like the Rams we mentioned earlier, Chargers are doing that 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific early start for a West Coast team. They do have a bye on deck next week before New England. But still, it's very interesting to me that the Chargers are getting a lot of public love this week in the NFL. The most public underdog this week and one of the most public games overall is the LA Chargers plus 2.5. That goes early at 1 o'clock Eastern on Sunday. Hey, there's one other game that was just a bit outside from making the cut. I know all of you baseball fans out there. And by the way, don't forget, baseball playoffs in full throttle right now. We got a full month to go until the World Series ends in November. I finished the MLB regular season #1 in totals at WagerTalk.com. So don't forget about baseball. And also NBA Pro Basketball just around the corner, starts in about 3 days on Tuesday. So get on board an all-sports subscription. If you're a football-only client, hey, use that Combo 30 discount promo code. But one game that was just a bit outside from making the cut was the Green Bay Packers, currently -6. This line's gone from 4.5 up to 6. Green Bay looks pretty public this week as too. I'll give that as a bonus. Not an official play here, the video, not quite public enough, if you will. But that's a game that was close. So if you're looking for some additional information, Green Bay was pretty close. And I think it's more of a play against the Bears. As I mentioned earlier, the Lions, public was on the Lions a few weeks ago against the Bears. Last week, second most public side, you recall, was the Las Vegas Raiders. The Bears won straight up once again and covered. Of course, the Raiders had some real distractions, but the public's been fading Chicago all season. That's a game that just missed the cut. So once again, your most public sides this week: Chiefs, Rams, Cowboys, and the underdog Chargers. And the Packers almost made it, but not quite there, not quite public enough. Hey, hope you enjoyed this video. If you found it useful, as always, give it a thumbs up, like the video. Make sure you're subscribed here to Wager Talk TV. And if you want instant alerts when my videos are posted, click the bell next to the subscribe button. That lets you know when my NFL Fade the Public video is ready each and every week. Don't forget my college football top 25/30 preview. I gave you 3 extra bonus games. The 5 biggest college football games are previewed in my top 25 video because I went a little deeper this week because there was actually some top 30 matchups. That's on Wager Talk TV on this channel right now. So check out my college football preview video for the 5 biggest games this Saturday. Be sure to subscribe, like, and most importantly, comment below. I love my comments. I read each and every one of them. I want to know who you agree and disagree with on these public plays this week. Let me know your best bets in the NFL as well. Be sure to check back each and every day for great content right here on Wager Talk TV. Don't forget, Combo 30, 2-for-1 special, college and pro football for a full month. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. Like, subscribe, and comment below. And we'll talk to you soon right here on Wager Talk TV. Best of luck this weekend.